24. No, I am. Why? I look 22?
Did the team do anything special for your birthday?
No.
Did you want them to?
No.
What's the mindset heading into the start of the playoffs on Saturday?
I think we're just focused. In practice we had a bunch of good practices in a row. I feel like, the message has been good. I feel like the guys have been really locked in and really focused on little details, and I think that's big for us. Is making sure we're focused all the way through practice. Make sure we're focused on the little details. And I know, obviously, talent-wise, we're going to be ready, and I think the coaches will have us ready. So I'm just very confident, in the guys, and especially with just our attention to detail and our focus and where it's been the last couple of days.
What do you see from David Adelman that you think will make him a successful head coach in the NBA?
I think that everybody's known he's a head coach in this league for a long time. I don't think it's just now that we went 3-0 or whatever it was. I think that his mind for the game, and obviously we see his offensive mind all the time, but he's really big on physicality, and he's very detail oriented. I feel like, and everybody knows, like I said, he's going to be a good coach in this league. But everybody respects him. Everybody respects when he talks. We listen. He has a really good job. Does a really good job of commanding the guys and making sure we're focused and we're listening. We're actually paying attention. He doesn't throw a lot of extra stuff in. He's straight to the point, and that's what I think a lot of guys appreciate about him. So he's a great coach, and we've always known that.
CB, how important is the transition game, especially against a team like LA with the way that they play? I know it's big against anybody, but in particular in this matchup.
Well, I think getting stops and getting out and running has been what we've been good at. Since way before I was here, the way Nikola pushes the ball, when we get out ahead and kick it to Mike, Aaron's running to the rim. That's what we've always been good at. So it's big in every series, but I think it's also big in this series just because how good of a team they are in the half court. They got a lot of really, really good guys on both ends that we're going to have to make work. And I think that if we can, get up and down and make those guys work in transition and really have to guard the full court, get back on defense, I think that maybe that makes it a little tougher on them. Like I said, they're really good on both ends. But if we can get out and run, that's when we're at our best.
Most important thing you've learned from the hard matchups in this regular season?
I think, like I said, I think that they have a ton of really talented players on both ends. They don't have a weakness. I think that obviously Zubac's been really, really good for them this year. We know what Kawhi is in the playoffs. We know who James is and who he's always been. Norm Powell's played really, really well this year. They just don't have many weaknesses, and like I said, they got a lot of two-way guys that play both ends really well. Zubac's really good in the paint, and Kawhi's one of the best defenders to ever live. So we got a ton of respect for those guys, and we understand we got to come in, we got to play well. We got to be focused and locked in from game one. And like I said, I know the coaches. I have a ton of confidence in those guys. I have a ton of confidence, in my teammates that we're going to be ready game one. Like who has been each player? I think Spencer today was Kawhi. Trey Alexander's been James Harden, so I've seen a lot of Trey Alexander the last couple of days. I've seen a lot of everybody, but I've seen a lot of Trey Alexander the last couple of days. But those guys have been those two guys the whole time, and then everybody else has rotated. Obviously, PJ Hall, Zubac, but yeah, everybody else has kind of rotated. That's just kind of who it's been. They've done a really good job too. I mean, they were great today. Their defense has been great. They've done a really good job too.
How serious are they taking their roles?
No, very, very serious. Like I said, I think today was their best day. They came in, they guarded really well. They fly around, and they've done a really good job of giving us good looks and understanding who the Clippers are and how they want to play. And I think those guys have done a really, really good job, of acting like they're James Harden.
2 years ago, how much does championship experience mean to this team? And on the other side of that, maybe you're not on the team
I think that, with Nicole on our team, we're always going to be one of the teams, to beat. We're always going to be at the top. You're always going to have a target on your back, especially when we've won it in the last couple of years, like you said. I think that, now obviously we're not the defending champs, but we have the experience. We know what it takes. I think that's a big part of being confident. If you've never been there, you don't know what it feels like. It's different, and we've had a lot of guys in this room that have been there, have played in big games. Even the guys who weren't on the team that are on now, like Russ's, his experience, you can't find anywhere else in the league. So, having the confidence of being there, getting over that hump, it's really big for us, and I know that confidence kind of runs throughout the organization, and so we'll be prepared for whatever's thrown at us.
That being said, does making the playoffs, do you guys take it for granted? Is it kind of just routine what you do at this point, being in the postseason?
Oh, I think that no, I don't think we take it for granted, but I do know that we do expect to be there. Our like I said, our confidence in each other, our confidence in our guys, our coaches. We do expect to be there, so maybe that's taking it for granted. But we just know that with the team that we have, the talent that we have, the coaches that we have, that we're expected to be at the top, year in and year out. I think we even thought that we should be, higher this year. We thought we should have played better in the regular season. I think that could be a good thing for us going into the playoffs. There's not an easy team, not a team that you want to play in the West, but I think that kind of have a chip going in. Like, man, we know what this team can do, and we don't want to waste any years or waste a whole year of hard work. We want to make sure that we capitalize each year that we have, a 3-time MVP, a guy like Jamal, Mike, Aaron. We got Russ on our team, so we want to make sure we capitalize. You don't get many chances like this.
From your perspective, what makes the James Harden that beats Zubac's pick and roll so hard to stop?
Well, James is so dynamic. He can score. He can shoot floaters. He's tough to guard because he's so good at finding fouls and finding hands. He can step back and shoot the three. And then you got a guy like Zubac who's rolling, who's got good touch, who's finishing around the rim. So there's a lot of different things that make him tough. And then, when you have James and you have Bogey and you have Kawhi in the corner, he can throw it to a lot of different guys. He can throw it to Norman Powell, who's also really good scorer and also searching out your hands. And so they have a ton of different things they can do. The surrounding guys make the pick and roll hard to guard, but just I think how dynamic that James is. He can score at every level. He's seen every coverage. He's literally, he's seen every coverage. He can make every pass. He can make every shot. So I think James is probably where it starts. And then everybody else that's around him is also really good. So, they're tough to guard, but we'll be ready.
What's your favorite?
Oh, man. I think that my favorite moment since I've been here was, the double, triple-double in the finals. I think that was really cool with those two. But I think his game winners in the Lakers series, to me, were really cool. But he has a ton of really cool moments. And, it's a guy you love to watch. And, he gets up for these games. He, is a riser in the same way I've talked about Kawhi as a riser, I feel like, in the playoffs. And that's tough to do. Guys that have the scouting report on them, it can still rise and go to a different level and compete at a higher level than everybody else. I mean, it's just impressive to watch night in and night out, his competitive nature kind of take over. Just the way he plays night in and night out in the playoffs is really fun. So he's had a great year in the regular season too, but I'm really excited to see what he does this year.
A lot has been put on you this season with a bigger role. How do you feel like at this point now, going into the postseason, you've handled that, and where are you most proud of your growth throughout the season going into the postseason?
I think that I'm just grateful. I think that, and the trust that the guys put in me, that the coaches put in me, everybody has trusted me with that role and me stepping into that role. And they've really embraced me, so I'm just grateful for that. But I don't think, at this, like you said, at this time, I don't think any of that matters anymore. I think that it's time for me to prove that I can do it in the playoffs. It's time for us to prove that we can do it again, and that's what means the most to me, is showing that I can do it in the playoffs and showing that we can do it again. So I'm just excited. All the regular stuff that regular season stuff that we did goes out the window. And it's time to show people who I am and show people who we are as a team. More importantly.
Thanks, Stevie.
Thank you.